Hi, my name is Emily Carter, and this story is about the moment I finally stopped letting my family walk all over me. Before I start, let me introduce the people in this story so everything makes sense. There's me, Emily, the older sister who spent most of her life trying to be responsible and independent. Then there's my younger sister, Jessica. Jessica has always been the favorite child in our family. She's charming, confident, and somehow always gets what she wants, even when she doesn't deserve it. My parents, Linda and Robert, love both of us, or at least that's what they always said. But growing up, it was obvious that Jessica received special treatment. If Jessica made a mistake, it was called a phase. If I made a mistake, it was called disappointing. By the time I was 25, I had learned an important lesson. If I wanted stability in my life, I had to build it myself. So I worked hard. I worked overtime. I saved every dollar I could. While my friends were traveling and enjoying expensive nights out, I was focused on one goal: buying my own home. And eventually, after years of saving and sacrifice, I finally did it. At 29 years old, I bought a small but beautiful house on the edge of town. It wasn't huge and it wasn't fancy, but it was mine. Every wall, every floorboard, every corner of that house represented years of effort. For the first time in my life, I felt proud. When I told my parents, they congratulated me politely. Jessica, however, had a very different reaction. She laughed. Not in a mean way, exactly. More like she couldn't believe someone would choose the boring path I had chosen. "You're really settling down already?" she said. "That sounds so responsible." To Jessica, responsibility was almost an insult. She had
Jessica
always lived
smiled
life
like she had
differently.
just solved a major problem. "It'll be perfect," she continued. "Emily has plenty of space, and I'll only stay until I figure out my next step." I looked at her carefully. Jessica's next step had a way of lasting months, sometimes years. My mother turned to me. "Emily, this could be good for both of you," she said. "Jessica won't have to struggle with rent, and you won't have to live alone." My father nodded. "Exactly. Families support each other." I noticed something strange. No one at the table had asked what I thought. They were simply assuming I would say yes. And honestly, part of me wanted to say yes. Not because I agreed with the idea, but because that was the role I had always played in this family. The responsible one, the understanding one, the one who didn't cause problems. Jessica leaned toward me with a confident smile. "Don't worry," she said. "I won't be a burden." But the truth was, Jessica had been a burden on our family for years. Every time something in her life went wrong, someone else had to fix it. And usually that someone was my parents. But this time,
"I
apparently, they
actually
expected
agree
it to
with
be
you,"
me.
I
My
continued
mother reached
calmly.
across the
Jessica looked relieved. "See?" she said to our parents. "I told you she wouldn't mind." But then I finished my sentence. "The only issue," I said, "is that I don't own the house anymore." The room went silent. Jessica frowned. "What do you mean?" My father leaned forward. "You sold the house?" he asked. I nodded. "Last month." Their faces changed immediately. Shock, confusion, disbelief. "But why?" my mother asked. I took a moment before answering. "Because I got an incredible job opportunity in another city, a promotion with a higher salary and better long-term prospects." Jessica stared at me. "You're moving?" "Yes," I said. "In 2 weeks." My father looked stunned. "And you didn't tell us?" "I was planning to," I replied calmly, but I didn't expect the conversation to turn into a discussion about someone moving into my house. Jessica's expression shifted from confusion to anger. "So where am I supposed to go now?" she demanded. I shrugged slightly. "I guess you'll have to figure that out." For the first time in my life, I didn't feel guilty saying those words, because Jessica had spent years expecting other people to